Hey everybody, happy 2026 and welcome to the third monthly Fairfield Market Report for builders in Fairfield County. As a reminder, this data excludes Greenwich as part of its data source because that tends to be its own market. And all the numbers you see are going to be 12-month sums and averages. So if I say the December number for X, Y, or Z, that is the 12-month period ending December 31st. All right, and with that, let's dive in. So right off the bat, we sold 203 homes, new construction homes, in the 12 months ending December 31st. We listed 238, so 35 of them didn't sell. And issue number one to consider, we used 433 listings to generate the 203 sales. And I know you're looking at this and saying, well, wait, we only had 238 homes to list, but we listed 433. What's going on? And the answer is a lot of these are pre-construction or mid-construction listings that end up getting canceled or withdrawn and then reissued again as completed homes. It used to work much better. There's just a lot of success back here in listing homes under construction that were getting purchased back, during the COVID years. We're seeing that not be as effective. So I see here agents really working hard for their clients and pushing these homes before they're ready to go, but the consumer is just not reacting, right? If I look at the change in slope of this line and look at the change in slope of the sale line down here, consumers are not reacting to the additional early listings. You've got to get the home built for the most part. I'm not saying that it can't work. I'm just saying have expectations that it's a very, very thin chance that you're going to be able to list something early and get it sold. Most of the time, you're going to duplicate or triplicate your work in order to get that sale done. All right, so the next question is, what are we bringing to market? And bringing to market is right here. Of the 238 homes we brought to market this past year, about 16% of them, 17% of them were two bedrooms. We brought 21 three bedrooms to market. We brought 87 four bedrooms and baby. This is our bread and butter right here. We brought about 20% five bedrooms, 13% six bedrooms, and then surprisingly, about on average one a month, seven or more bedrooms. Now, these larger homes used to be only built when there was already a buyer at the table. But it looks like some builders have decided to actually build them and then bring them to market. And we'll talk for a minute about the success rate of that as well. So that's the next question is, okay, this is what we brought to market. What did we sell? And the answer is, well, we didn't sell a lot of those three bedrooms. We struggled to sell those three bedrooms. We only sold 4 of those 7 and up bedrooms, which is a little disconcerting, but you know what? We'll discuss that maybe next month. Our 4 bedrooms are still just like the sweet spot. We have been between 35 and 45% of our sales. So back here about 43%. Now we're down to about 38%, but it gently fluctuates in that zone. This is more or less half of our sales every month. 5 bedrooms are doing fine. They're contracting a little bit, but 6 bedrooms are actually eating up that difference. So people who need larger homes are maybe going a little bit even larger than they need, up to the 6 bedroom. And that 5 bedroom is constricting, as you can see, from where it was at the start of last year. So why are the 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms looking the way they are? Why is the 3 bedrooms shrinking? And the answer to that is average size. We used to make smaller 2 bedrooms than 3 bedrooms, but over the last year and a half, we are now making a house, and we're either putting in an office or we're putting in a 3rd bedroom. And so everything 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom is right there at the 22 to 2300 square foot space. Why does that matter? That matters because on average dollars per square foot, when we're selling them, we're selling the 2 bedrooms at $350 a square foot. We're selling the 4 bedrooms at $400, the 3 bedrooms at $400. So you tell a consumer, look, I'm willing to give you product A or product B. They're the same size. They're functionally similar to each other, but I'm going to charge you $50 a square foot less for one of the 2 of them. Guess which one they prefer? Yeah, no surprise there that we see 2 bedrooms cannibalizing the 3 bedrooms. Outside of that, 4 bedrooms are currently selling across the county for about 460. Your mileage may vary there based on which town you're building in. It's interesting to see that the 5 bedrooms have actually shrunk in price per square foot to below the overall average, and that average is being pulled up by the 7 and aboves and the 6s. The 6s are all the way up to 715. There's too little data to really put together an actual average for the 7 and aboves. All right. Other thing to talk about then here is sales performance. This is one of the areas where I'm most concerned. This is above ask, at ask, and below ask of the current ask at the point where the offer is made. So did it sell for the final asking price? If instead I go back and look at the original list price for each one of these builds, this is my biggest red flag for the county, okay? As a builder, you need to know what it is that you expect to get in terms of return on investment. You don't want to overinvest in a property that you cannot get that return back on. Back in 2003, so the 12 months ending January of 2004, most of the sales were selling above ask or at ask at least. Very few of them needed a price reduction from that initial asking price in order to sell. In fact, over 200 out of the 265 were selling for above ask. We are now at the point where we sold 203 over the last 12 months. Of that 203, 196 of them, all but 7, had to have a price reduction from their original list price in order to sell. That's a big red flag. We have to reset our expectations to make sure that the investments that we put in as builders, in fact, get realized on the other end. All right. That's it for this month. If you have any questions, please reach out. I am always here. My best wishes for happiness and health in the new year, and looking forward to discussing with you next month.